Hi, I'm Marsh from StrataGames, and today we're playing some more Black Sack. This is pretty close to my stock list, but I've made a few minor changes. Right now we're playing one Accursed Marauder in the main deck instead of two. That's because, except for the recent challenge wins from Bogles, Bogles has been a little bit less prevalent, and Mono White Heroic had a resurgence for a little while, but has fallen off again, I think. And Shambling Ghast is just a really good card, so I've been trying to play more of those. And then in our sideboard, we're playing Vampiric Lynx. Just trying these out against burn decks. They definitely have some good upside and some major downsides, so we'll see if that comes up. But otherwise, we're playing the pretty standard 4 Feeders, Beetles, Vampires, a couple Sadistic Glees. We're on 4 Sage, Linkbreaker, and Shambler with 3 Ghasts, some Snuff Outs, and a Marauder for more removal, 2 Rite of Consumption, 4 Village Rites, 2 Unearth, 3 Staminas. And then our sideboard, the rest, we have Rotten Reunions, Tragic Slip, those Vampiric Lynx, 2 more Accursed Marauder, 2 Mesmeric Fiend, Drown in Sorrow, Spinning Darkness, Sylvac Lifestaff, and a Spell Bomb. So let's take it for a league and see how we do. Have you already tried a full pinger list? I'm working on a Gruul Tokens, Impact, Tremors, Molten Gatekeeper, Raphael list. I have not tried that yet. I know that's definitely the other place. That's the main place that I think Raphael can shine, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Yeah, but it does seem okay. I know the Gruul Token lists did some decent work, got some trophies a couple of months ago. Lists like that feel like they always fade in for, when somebody gets one trophy with them, and a lot of people, including a lot of creators, play the deck, and then it kind of fades out, but it is a cool deck for sure. So I might get around to it. We will see. I definitely have a lot of other videos and decks planned. Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video. I've written a comprehensive guide on how to play White Weenie in Pauper, including my ideal stock list, over 30 sideboard matchups, and a sideboard cheat sheet, which gives you a very easy snapshot view and what to sideboard for every single matchup. I also have guides for Black Sack and Esper Affinity. Each guide is only $15, and if you buy one, you will get all future updates that I ever make to that guide for free. I also offer coaching, so if you're interested in upping your Pauper game for any of the decks that I'm very proficient in, or if you're interested in having me play your deck in a future video, you can do a deck donation, which is the only way you'll ever see me playing Cycle Storm or Flickertron. Alright, round 1 here. We have really kind of close. We need both a land and a Carrion Feeder. This is not going to be a keepable hand. Here we don't have the extra land, but we do have the Feeder, Beetles. We're going to keep this one, get rid of that Rite of Consumption, because it's looking like we can just play creatures and attack with them. Hopefully we will draw land, because if so, I think we're just in a great spot. Carrion Feeder, Beetle next turn. The following turn, Beetle, Stamina. Could be fast enough to beat even whatever this is, Grixis or Jund. Fortunately, I think we just have to Beetle here. I could play Carrion Feeder, which can protect itself a little bit more, but also if it just gets cast down or something, it's a lot worse for it to die. Whereas the Beetle's a little more expendable. They do have a Black Mage's Rod. Give me a Swamp. Hey, alright. Now I have Carrion Feeder plus Beetle. We have no protection against a Krark right now, unfortunately. Krark Death Touch. So I could play another Beetle, and we have 3 3/3s. If they just have a fair Krark, we can kind of get around that. Yeah, I think we do this. If they have an unfair Krark, then we're super dead already. They block the Linkbreaker, which means these would only be 2/2s if I trade there. I really do like trying to kill the hero token here, but not only because they're pretty happy to lose it, but also in general I want to make sure these are as big as possible. I'm just going to sack the Mercenary. We hit for one extra damage, and if they have the Krark, we're going to need to do it anyway. If they have the Krark, we're going to be in a bad spot. Potentially just lose on the spot, but no attacks. Okay. Carrion Feeder. Well, we're playing a Sage and holding up Stamina. Attack with the team. They could have Cast Down, Galvanic. They could just have like a Rite of Consumption here. Can I kill them if they just have like... or not Rite of Consumption, the Reckoner's Bargain or something. Because I'm at 6, which means I only need to deal 10. Yeah, I'm just going to pass priority. And if they sack their guy, then I can Stamina on the Sage, and I can actually just deal him lethal. Oh, not to mention the fact that our Beetles grow. Perfect. Alright, easy game. This comes back, a whole bunch of stuff, but the big news is we're going to be dealing lethal damage. We do have to sack the blocked Beetle, but we're dealing 17. Alright. That's how you do it against Grixis. That is the goal. We get Tragic Slips, Mesmeric Fiends, Marauder can go. Snuff Out's not amazing because it can't hit like Refurb, but it is necessary as it is another card that can hit, what's it called? Krark. in response to Death Touch. Got a couple vampires and a Link Breaker here. Alright, hand's not incredible, but it is acceptable. They have a Spell Bomb, so Unearth is worse. Link Breaker, Krark pretty good it seems. I would agree. Seems like an okay card. So I could Vampire here. Vampire, if they just Gal Blast it, pretty awkward. But Beetle plus Shambler, if they then play Krark, seems pretty bad. So let's just do this. They don't have any tap lands currently. They don't have red, which is really good. Okay, there is the Monitor. Just a 3/3, not that big of a deal. Sadistically, okay. Usually I would want to put Sadistically in this matchup on a flyer to dodge Krark. We don't have a flyer though, and I'm not gonna wait. So we're gonna just put this immediately on Shambler. And I'm gonna swing. They could have Toxin Analysis on their Monitor, so if they block the Vampire, I feel like I would need to assume that's what they're doing. Okay, they don't. They block the Link Breaker, so I'm gonna sack, grow the team. I'm pretty sure I don't have lethal here, but we should do some math because we're dealing 3, but this grows for every guy we sack. So 1, 2, this would be a 7/7, and this would get 2 more counters, which means I'd have 5 more sacks. So I have 17 damage here. So it's actually really close. Not quite lethal though. Yeah, we'll just leave it. Yeah, I was only 1 creature sacrifice off of killing right there, which is pretty cool. They do have an Enforcer paying 2 mana for it. That's embarrassing. No land drops. Shambling Ghast. Can't pick anything off, unfortunately. I'm going to cycle this on Earth. It's not doing us any good. And something like that could be okay. Pump the Shambler. I guess I'll just Village Rites the Mercenary here. See what we draw. Because I could get like a Snuff Out or something that could change blocks. Okay. Is there any way we could deal lethal this turn? Because if Vampire could probably be lethal by itself, so they'll have to block that. Can I make one of these other ones? Because, like, if I play Shambling Ghast, sacrifice it for a treasure, then I play a Sage, I could have 3 sacrifices, which would buff this Shambler to 7 power. 7 makes 8 more sacrifices, so that's 3 plus 8, which is 14 for the Beetle, plus this is 15, so Beetle's, like, 1 short. But that means... I think probably not. We're really close. So let's just play a Sage and swing. Block the Vampire specifically with the Enforcer, so probably Toxin there. Oh, never mind. Just this. Can I make these lethal? Because I didn't actually anticipate this block. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So no, not quite. Sacrifice this. I kind of don't want to lose this flyer. Although if they go to 7, 1 flyer is not going to make that big of a difference, and I'd rather have the Vampire around. All right, we'll sack the Insect. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If I had played the Shambling Ghast first and then the Sage, this would be... Yeah, there's the Toxin. This would have been a lethal attack, or a lethal block, but I don't know if they would have blocked like this. So I could just sack the Vampire, because it's going to die anyway. Of course, then we don't kill the Monitor. We're getting in for not just 11, but 13. They don't gain 3, although it's probably better they have 1 fewer blocker, right? Yeah, it's fine. There's red. They just use a Toxin, so maybe we're okay. But obviously Krark plus another Toxin's pretty bad. There's Krark. There's Beetle. Well, I have no way to sacrifice the Shambler to pick this off. So I think I just attack. If they have the Toxin, at least they'll have to use it, and I can play my creatures afterwards. Just block the Shambler. Take 5. Well, part of me wants to play a Beetle, so if I get like a Carrion Feeder or something, I'll have another lethal attacker. But obviously that's just deploying more creatures that if they get Toxin, die to it. I think we just pass, because we should be in a good enough spot, hopefully. They crack a Clue, and I assume a Spell Bomb if they have nothing else. They really got to make something happen here. And we win the match. All right. I wasn't sure that was going to happen, but we had a really fast start, and then we had they had a rough draw, and as soon as they used their Toxins when they hit the red mana, so things worked out for us, for sure. We don't have a sack outlet. It does hurt my heart to mulligan a hand like this, where if we draw Carrion Feeder, like, it's a really good hand, but if we don't draw Carrion Feeder, or even if we draw Carrion Feeder on turn, like, 3 or 4, it's just going to be too slow. Well, I don't generally love keeping these hands, but... we're on 6. I feel like we gotta keep it. And we do have Beetle into Marauder into Unearth the Marauder. This doesn't usually work that well, but we'll give it another try. Are you still experimenting with Essence Harvest? I played it in one video based off of the list of Airplay, another pretty big Black Sack player. But I can't say I really cared for it that much. So no. not currently. It's just more expensive, and there's some benefits to it for sure, but otherwise it just kind of does the same thing. This is probably one of the worst matchups we could have for this Cursed Marauder, being our main game plan here. But yeah, so Essence Harvest, I just don't think it's necessary. Every once in a while, I'll find myself in a bind where it's like, oh, gaining 7 life, that's not quite lethal, would be nice. But I feel like the mana cost is super relevant, and them not being able to remove the creature in response is sometimes relevant too. So a Cursed Marauder does not kill a plant token, unfortunately. So I could waste the Marauder trigger, although they're already not going to have that many relevant creatures. They might have a cat that I could get rid of, but it might be worth it. In fact, it probably is worth it to just grow the beetle a little bit. Deal more damage, make it attack for more. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Sack the Sage here, actually, to just try to hit for as much as possible. Oh, of course it only gets 1 counter. Yeah, really not fantastic. Play a Shambling Ghast and just pass. I hear you, I like it as a grindy piece, but it's less explosive. Yeah, I like the potential to be able to win a longer game, but my goal is to build a deck that is, it's built for the short term, with the ability to have some game later, but... yeah, if I wanted to have a more grindy game, I would probably be on the Perigee Beckoner list and all that stuff, and it's just not what I think is best. Well, things are not going great. Well, I was expecting... well, okay, Suffocating Fumes? Fair enough. I was going to say I was expecting a Pestilence there, wipe the board except for 1 squirrel, but Suffocating Fumes is just about as bad. I'm just going to concede. I don't think there's any way we get back from that with what's in our hand. We do get Spell Bombs, Rotten Reunions, Mesmeric Fiends. Get rid of this Marauder, Snuff Out. This hand is not great. It's all in on 1 Vampire, which is the most susceptible to removal. Of course, it's also the fastest if we hit like a Rite of Consumption. We'll give it a try. This is a pretty tough matchup in general. I usually feel like I have pretty decent games against Golgari Gardens, but the Food Pestilence specifically, like the life gain can be relevant, and I feel like they just play more board wipes, obviously Pestilence, but also like the Fumes we just saw, stuff like that, and just more removal that hits us, because Gardens often plays Tithing Blade or Snuff Out and things like that, whereas this one usually I've found is just playing like Cast Down and then Go for the Throats, maybe Defile, all of which hit us pretty badly. That is a great draw. Okay, I need to do some math. I don't think there's any world where we can win right here, but we can Stamina the Shambler. Vampire can go up plus 12, so it's 13. Oh, we can win. Oh my god. We have the turn 3 win. So I sack the Shambling Ghast to pick off the plant. Vampire's a 3-3. I play a Shambler, sack it, and it's Squirrel. Vampire's a 7-7. I was about to play this Beetle, but I actually could just win. So let's do that, I suppose. Pick off the plant. Shambling Ghast. Stamina. Attack. And Stamina the Shammed. Yeah, so I could do that, but we'd miss out on some triggers here. And like I said, doing the math, we can actually just get the turn 3 win. That's pretty good. Yeah, that always feels great. Let's try to do that again. Definitely the best way to win against them. And that's why I kept that hand. Obviously, was like, it could be really, really fast. Obviously, drawing as we did was pretty nice. This hand has no creatures, so that's not going to work. This hand is really weird. No growers, but we do have Village Rites, Stamina, Rotten Reunion. We have a lot of good utility. I think we're going to keep and get rid of this Unearth. Just in case they play like a Spell Bomb, it could be really rough. Although I guess the Stamina would be the same. Link Breaker. Alright, lead with that. Sadistic Glee. Alright, we got to hit a Swamp here to be in a good spot. We do get the Swamp. I could just play a Feeder. It dies to just about everything. I think we just play a Shambler and pass. This way I could like Carrion Feeder, hold up Stamina. Yeah, we'll pump this. Obviously this means they just get to block it with the plant. Oh, unless they're going to kill it now in response. Okay. Well, I get them to use a Cast Down and I can still Stamina it. Now they might have a Suffocating Fumes and be like, oh, this isn't a big deal, but we at least get to play the Carrion Feeder and then grow that a bunch. And now we have a Glee. Like, okay, they just have the Cast Down. Yeah, it's bad. And they have the Bog. Alright. Another Carrion Feeder. Okay, we get a Village Rites. I'm going to Sadistically on the Shambler so that I can grow it out of range of a Suffocating Fumes. They don't block. Okay. Take a bunch. Village Rites a Squirrel. Get a counter. Literally exactly what I wanted to draw was Swamp Carrion Feeder, so that's perfect. They go for an insight. Another garden. Pass the turn. Beetle is also really good. So I guess we'll just play all of these and hold up a reunion for a cat, or probably just like an insight at their end step. Block both of these guys. Sacrifice. We get a couple of counters for our trouble, and we'll pass. They're going to draw 2. We have 3 creatures that can be really, really big, so Pestilence isn't going to do it. Any board wipe isn't going to do it. They're going to need a bunch of chump blockers or cast downs or something. Go for the throat on the Shambler. Well, alright, they just concede. So yeah, I was just going to sacrifice the Linkbreaker, Mercenaries, Squirrels, and then the Shambler. This would give our Beetle and our Fiend, our Feeder, 8 counters or something, and then we have a million squirrels, and then we just get them. Alright, got there against Food Pest. Alright, that's a mulligan. That's also a mulligan. For a 5-card hand, this is some of the best stuff we could have. We'll see if we run into some issues. Oh, they mulligan to 5 as well. So, Vampire, Stamina, Shambler. Incredible combo. The fact that I have to put back the Sadistically really sucks, but I could put back a Swamp, try to chance it, but these 3 cards actually do give us a pretty good chance of winning, especially on them mulliganing to 5. If our Vampire gets removed, we're probably going to lose, but with them mulliganing low, I mean, obviously we're doing that in a fair deck, but they could definitely be playing like a Spy or something where they're not going to have the interaction. This also could theoretically be a turn 3 win. If my next 2 draws are Swamp, well, probably not against a Furnace deck. If our next 2 draws are Swamp and, what's it called? Rite of Consumption. Obviously they weren't. Well, I'm going to swing. I don't think I can chance them having a removal spell. Alright, we're just going to pass. If I'm lucky, they tap out at the end step for a bolt to our face or something. Okay, well, I thought it was a burn deck. Now I really wish I had played the Vampire. That's annoying. See, this is what, like, not knowing what they're playing can really do to you. We have the potential for a turn 3 win, and we're against a deck that isn't going to have any interaction, but I thought it was a burn deck, so I played differently. We still have a relatively fast start. We might be able to get there, but could definitely also lose. Cycle some more stuff. Play a Great Furnace. Link Breaker. Well, we're playing a Vampire, and we do have lethal next turn, so they got a win here, which is nice. Forcing them to combo on turn 3 might be difficult for them. Cycle a couple of guys. Lotus Petal. Songs for 6. If I had just played the Vampire, I wouldn't have even needed to draw a land and a Rite of Consumption. I would have just had 17 damage on turn 3 if I just played it on turn 2, I think. So if they had Street Wraith, yeah, I would have had lethal, because I would have only hit for 1 with the Shambler. I mean, we'll see. They only have a couple of cards, so they definitely could whiff. Alright, we did get there. I found that usually forcing them to combo on turn 3 wins us the game, but you never know. And since I played differently, it obviously is a bit unfortunate if it plays out differently. Alright, here we get Mesmeric Fiends, no removal, Spell Bomb is okay, but really we just want to be fast. I mean, I could bring in Rotten Reunions, but maybe having a free guy is just cheaper. We'll just try this. I can't understand playing combo. I mean, I like Solitaire, but why ruin someone else's day? I feel similarly, but people do like combo. So I don't know what to say about it. This one has no growers, no speed. Unless I mean, if I get something for the Shambler, it could be cool. This one, why ruin my day by not playing combo? That's an interesting point of view. I need a land. I mean, if I go Link Breaker, Village writes it, and we're not hitting a land, it's pretty bad, but we're on the draw. I think we get rid of the Glee, because the interaction of Fiend and Unearth could be pretty decent. Alright, we do draw the Swamp. Very nice. So I get to Link Breaker. That means next turn I can Vampire. Following turn I can Fiend. If I really need, I can Fiend next turn. But also I've learned I can attack well. I've played Black, Sack, and White. We need to combine 06 over 2 events. I like combo my best pairings. I mean, I will say, combo's not my general favorite to play against, but as a Black Sack player, it is generally one of my... most of the combo decks are usually high win rates. Can't attack well. Me no good at turning dudes sideways. Well, I mean, turning dudes sideways is just a skill you gotta learn, just like combo, you know? If you spend all your time learning combo, then obviously you're not gonna be as good at the other things. Alright, well, hopefully Fiend, Double Fiend, can really do some work here. Sacrifice, take a card from their hand. They're gonna Rowan's Grim Search in response. It's fine, because ideally I can take 2 cards that will be pretty good. Well, their hand is Ritual, 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 Lotus Petal, Reaping, Reaping. And I can take 2 cards. So I think I'm going to take the 2 Reapings if I just had to guess. Double Reaping. Pretty good. Bye, Reapings. I mean, if they just draw another Reaping, they could maybe win. Although I guess their graveyard is only 5 creatures. Yeah, they could. If they draw a Reaping off the top, they could definitely get there, but obviously us taking both of them is pretty strong. Drannith Healer. Easy game, easy life. Exactly. Another healer. Petal into Dark Ritual. Cabal, Cabal. And they're gonna just... They got the Reaping. Only a couple more cards down. I mean, they're still in a very tough spot. They only have 6 mana and no cards, except for obviously what they're drawing. But they have a possibility. If they get, like... Songs into... Yeah, I mean, Songs into a bunch of mana, a bunch more guys, and then another Reaping, but, like, way down the line. They could maybe get there. So lucky. Yeah, it's pretty lucky. 3 Reapings in the top, whatever that was, 15 cards. But we did get to take 2 of them away, so we had some luck there as well. There's a Songs for 10. Maybe I should have taken the Lotus Petal then. Alright, we ended up winning anyway. They ran out of steam, but yeah. I mean, that's how it goes against Cycle Storm most times, I've found. Most of my other decks that I play, White Weenie and things like that, lose to Cycle Storm. Even White Weenie, which like has the interaction, sometimes they can get around that. This is the only deck I play that usually can win against Cycle Storm, luckily. Black Aggro Master. I do my best. Alright, we have an okay one. On the draw with a Village Rites, I feel comfortable enough keeping. Alright, now we're against a burn deck. And we get our Swamp. So what am I going to want to do? Gassed here, blocks, gets me a treasure. Probably just play like a Link Breaker. We will take 1 for now. Every creature is extremely important when we're probably relying on Vampire. Obviously, I'd love a Carrion Feeder. Snuff Out's not amazing against red, but it can still gain us life if they just like slam a Gutter Snipe next turn. I think here I'm just going to play a Shambling Ghast. Hold up a Village Rites. I'm assuming they're on Madness, but technically there's nothing that tells me that over them being a Rally opponent, except that usually Rally would play something on turn 2. Madness is definitely not as incentivized to do so. Obviously, if they had the ability to grab the prize for a Snacker, they would have, but like it's not as important that they play the Rally immediately or whatever. I'm just going to block Village Rites. Yeah, I'll pick this guy off in case we draw 1 Marauder or just want to make sure it's not a blocker for the Vampire later. There's a Flame Breather. Probably should snuff it out. Don't like taking 4, and obviously I'd prefer to kill a Gutter Snipe, but if they also have a Gutter Snipe, I'm probably losing anyway. Alright, that worked. Swing, Sage, and we'll play Vampire. Dart the Vampire, we will sack the Link Breaker. There's the grab with the Snacker. If we get a Rite of Consumption here, and they don't have like, Bolt, Fire Blast, we could definitely win. Okay, Beetle's not bad. Just gonna play a bunch of guys. Pump the Shambler. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we do just have lethal here with the Vampire. Assuming there's no way for them to kill it. So let's try to win, I suppose. If I have to. Like, they have a Lava Dart, so if they have like 3 big removal spells in response here. There's a Lava Dart. Sack the Sage. They're gonna Lava Dart it. Okay, luckily this one stays on the stack until my guy's big enough. Sack the Mercenary. But if they do Bolt here, I have to sacrifice 2 things, and then if they Fire Blast, I'm not going to be able to keep the Vampire alive, and I'm going to lose my entire board, so, like, we might lose. Oh, they're looking for something with this Flame Breather. They're looking for a Fire Blast. Hey, loving the content. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Okay, so if they're looking for a Fire Blast, they probably don't have it, so I should sacrifice the Sage now. If they do have it, it doesn't matter, because they're gonna use it in response anyway, right? So I think I sack this here. Get a guy. Look at this stack. Sack the Insect. Once I'm above 5/5, the Fire Blast isn't gonna cut it. So now they can just draw their card. So much stack, indeed. This is a big one. Alright, and now we just hit for lethal. Technically, because I know I have to sack the Beetle, I should probably sack it first, because then I don't have to say yes to this. But I always get worried that, like, oh, I miscounted, and then if they somehow kill the Vampire, maybe I want the Beetle around. But it's not going to happen here. Hit for 19? Alright. That was a fun stack, for sure. Here we get Rotten Reunion, Spellbombs, Life Staff. We get to try out the links, Vampiric Links here. Thanks, y'all. Tragic Slip, Marauder out, Snuff out. Spin of Darkness in. This is big one where you bring a lot of stuff in. Vampires did do work there, but usually not the best thing ever. Every card that has an easily repeatable condition of +2/+2 is a menace. Yes, I agree. I mean, it doesn't literally have menace, but, you know. Yes, it's pretty good. Alright, taking out Shamblers. They're good for picking off blockers, but we have a lot of other stuff to do that now. We'll go with 1 Sage. Alright, on the draw, we need to be leaving up Rotten Reunion if we have it, to try to make sure that no Snacker comes down. Oh, well, this is a tough one. It's 1 land. We are on the draw. We do have the Reunion. Vampiric Link, Beetle Feeder's great, but Staminas currently don't do anything. I mean, we can't keep this. It's real close, but it's not good enough. This one is okay. Vamp is fair, though. It being until end of turn makes damaging it. Yeah, a tough choice. Definitely is a fair card, but it is a scary one, like a 2-drop that can deal 19 damage. Pretty good. Alright, this isn't a terrible hand if we can get this feeder around, and pretty big, especially if we find like a Vampiric Link for it. Searing Blaze on our Link Breaker, okay. A little annoying. I was honestly thinking about trading with the Epic here if they attacked for the Link Breaker, because I want to make sure they have no blockers for our feeder, especially if we get a Vampiric Link. But I probably just want to keep the Mercenary for the Shambler. Another feeder is decent. Alright, so we get to Shambler, sack to the Carrion Feeder, make it a 2/2, and we have 3 guys. So it's hard for them to kill. Green when the sacks tokens is crazy good. Yeah, in the right deck, it can also go absolutely bonkers. They're going to swing for 1, because I can't block. They're only at 3 cards. They mulliganed just once, like us. See if they want to fight over the feeder. I probably won't be as determined to keep it alive since we have another one, so I could sack 2 squirrels here, but then if they have another bolt, I just lose a lot of stuff. Whereas if I let it go, I can just play Sage Feeder, and they have to have 2 more bolts. I think we're just going to let that die, actually. I mean, now if they have like on the festivities, obviously that's bad, but they should have done it in the other order. Ooh, Lava Dart grab the prize. So no, I mean, now they could have drawn a Lightning Bolt, but no Lightning Bolts now, immediately. Ooh, Sadistic Glee. So I could Carrion Feeder Glee, and then I could sack Squirrels immediately, or I could still just go Sage, Carrion Feeder. Either way, we're attacking for 3 here. I think we're going to go Feeder, Glee. Only 2 cards in hand, Glee looks ace. Yeah, I agree. I think it looks really good, but they have 2 cards, they're going to get a draw. They also have a Lava Dart in the graveyard, so they could still reach, what is this going to be, a 7/7? But if they have to use most of the resources for that, it's not too bad. They're deciding now if they want a Lava Dart in response here, so that I lose 1 extra counter. Not a terrible idea, because then it does die to 2 bolts. They decide not to, and I think we're supposed to sacrifice a squirrel now for safety, because otherwise, I guess, like, what? They untap. Yeah, because they could, like, bolt. Yeah, we should sack 1 now, because it makes it so that their Lava Dart isn't going to be able to kill the Carrion Feeder, isn't even going to be able to threaten killing it. Obviously, they could do it now, but again, I sack another squirrel, and I'm not too worried about that. Whereas if I leave it, it can threaten killing the feeder, and so it becomes another removal spell for the feeder if they do it at, like, the very end, and so yeah, I think we just do it now. Blood token away a mountain. Assuming the feeder lives, all we need now is Vampiric Link to gain 1,000,000 life. There's a Flame Breather. That's pretty good. Another Sadistically. Because of the Lava Dart, I actually have to put it on the Carrion Feeder, though. Like, I could try to put it on a Squirrel or whatever, but then they're going to kill that. So, or I could wait until they use the Lava Dart. I could also just Tragic Slip this feed, the Flame Breather. Our best way to lose is probably leaving the Flame Breather around, and then they get, like, Faithless into double Fiery Temper, Fire Blast. Yeah. So I don't need to put another Glee on the feeder yet. Let's just Tragic Slip and play it safe here. They're going to jump with the Epic here, which is great, because that means I don't even have to sacrifice something to slip this. It also means they have fewer blockers for if I do get a Vampiric Link, they can't block and then, like, dart their own creature. And they give us a GG. All right. 4-0. Feeling pretty good. 2 more mountains in hand. Rough for them for sure, but feeling pretty good. Let's see if we can get that trophy. Voracious Null. 3 mana, 2/2. 1 in a black, sacrifice another creature, put 2+1 counters on this creature. Activate only as a sorcery. That doesn't seem very good. Or 2+1/+1 counters. I guess it's okay. 1 in a black is a lot. Sorcery is obviously not gonna work in this kind of a deck. 2 counters actually is not bad, though. Bit mana hungry. Yeah, unfortunately, this kind of a deck, I mean, we're sacrificing 10 creatures at a time sometimes. It has to be absolutely free. Any creature that requires even a single mana is not gonna work for this one. And then sorcery speed. I mean, we've seen how important it is to be instant speed. Theoretically, sorcery speed, if the card was good enough, could be okay. Like if it was a 1 mana 1/1, sacrifice another creature, get 2 +1/+1 counters as a sorcery, that card would probably be good enough, even though it is sorcery, but you'd have to change a lot of how you play, because you'd have to do it very proactively, but it would grow so fast that it would probably be worth it anyway. But at 3 mana, obviously not going to do it here. I mean, even if we got Voracious Null, but it was like a bear, a 2 mana 2/2, and it was no mana, sacrifice another creature, 2 +1/+1 counters, but it was still sorcery, that might be good enough. Yeah, this one is the classic trap. Doesn't do anything unless you draw exactly what you need. This one is good enough. I think we're going to get rid of the Marauder. I mean, get rid of Marauder and immediately play against Bogles is going to feel bad. But there's a lot more matches where we want this Ghast than the Marauder. Not to mention we can't even cast the Marauder yet, so I think this is better. Ponder. Obviously, if we are against Terror, Marauder's also a good one there. Start with a Ghast. Another Ponder, shuffles. We get the Swamp. That's great because there was a slight fear that we could get Force Spiked for our feeder here, but now I can hit for 1, play a feeder, play a Shambler. And if they have a Force Spike, I can sack the Ghast to pay for it. So we'll pass. Thought Scour, they hit a Spell and a Delver, so that's 4. I could sack Ghast, get a treasure, Stamina the Shambler while they're tapped out. Looking like 5-0. I don't want to jinx it. You know, I think I am going to do that because one of Terror's worst nightmares is us having just a bunch of 1/1s. And so being able to do this while they're tapped out super early can really make it difficult for them. Obviously, if they get a Terror, then we just have chump blockers. If they don't get a Terror, we're just attacking for a bunch. And even once they have a Terror, they get to eat 1/1 and we get to hit them for like 4. Like, there's a lot of benefits here. And, Shambling Ghast doesn't have that much value in here unless we're picking off a Delver before it flips. We're already past the point where that's that scary. So yeah, they get a Terror, but Marauder obviously would be good here. But we were able to do some good stuff with a Shambling Ghast. Here I think we just play Link Breaker, swing with the team. They're going to block like a Shambler probably, maybe just a Squirrel. That's probably better. And then I'm going to Village Rites it. Okay, so we hit for 6. Actually, I probably should have sacked the Link Breaker because I want the Mercenary. So that was a wasted damage, but that's okay. Play a Sage. I guess it's not wasted if they attack us here, which seems unlikely. All right, we immediately take the first game. So here we get to bring in Spell Bombs, Rotten Reunions, Tragic Slips. We do get our Marauders. And Sadistic Glee is not amazing against their removal. Right, a Consumption's tough. Terror's so weak against decks that can go fast. Yes. I mean, Terror itself can go extremely fast, like turn 3, but if it doesn't have that start, and then we're like a turn 3 or 4 win deck, like, yeah, they definitely can be in a bad spot. Especially because we, like I said, we diversified our threats. Like, if we had one big guy, or if we're like a Kiln Feed or something, and they can Demon Inferior, tap it down, they have a lot more game against that. So Shambling Ghast isn't amazing, especially on the draw. It is our main way to kill off a Delver, and if they play 1 or 2 Delvers, like right away, and get to flip them, it can be a real concern. But we'll still have Tragic Slip, Snuff Out, Curse Marauder. I think we can take out a couple Ghasts. Oh, we've had so many one-landers today, many of which have been pretty good. This one is decent. I want to start with a Carrion Feeder immediately here. The problem is if they bring in Gut Shots, which they often will, and they Gut Shot the Carrion Feeder, then we're probably going to lose. But if I don't play the Carrion Feeder right away and it gets countered later, we're probably going to lose. We have so much fodder, though. I think we're going to keep this one. Yo, just in time. Yeah, we're looking to try to get a trophy here, but we'll see if we can close it out. Village Rites. Still a pretty ace hand. Yes. The problem is if we didn't draw land, which we did get a Village Rites, but that resolving is not a guarantee. They also could have a Force Spike here, so Feeder, not necessarily the best. I think I just want to lead on a Link Breaker here. We have enough fodder that I can potentially just keep playing that, and if they don't want to counter, that's fine, and then maybe we get a Village Rites through at some point. They Thought Scour, Island Brainstorm. Just observing, no jinxies. Yeah, no worries. Alright, they hold up Counterspell. I would love a Swamp. Perfect. Never didn't have it. So, if I play a Carrion Feeder, they're going to counter it. No questions. If I play a Beetle, they might counter it, and I'm not that worried about it. I think for now I might just do, like, a Shambler, and then if they counter that, then I'm definitely getting a feeder through. Because if they have the gut shot now, I can deal with that. Definitely happy for them to counter the Shambler. Although if they didn't, I probably was going to play nothing else. Just leave it with the village rights. So another swamp isn't bad. That's definitely as many as I want, but not the worst thing ever. We're going to play a Sage, see if they want to counter that. They don't. They're just trying to keep the Shamblers off the field. So I'll play Shambler, but if they counter that, I might be able to resolve Beetle, unless they do have a Force Spike. But we're going to try for it. All right, now we get to attack. I know I'm going to want to sacrifice some of these, so let's get in a little bit of extra damage. Grow 2 of our guys. Hit for 3. Pass the turn. They cycle a Lorien, so that's 5 spells in their yard. So if they do land like 2 or 3 terrors here, we could be in a tough spot because our guys aren't quite getting big enough yet. There's a terror, and there's a serpent. All right, Cursed Marauder would be great. They are tapped out, so we have a lot of great draws. Not one of them. I said that was enough lands. Well, we got a Village Rights, the Link Breaker here in hope for more fodder, removal. We have a lot of good draws. Beetle and a Stamina. Oh, Stamina. I almost always remember, you want to keep around a creature like a Link Breaker so that Stamina is good. I forgot that this time. So I should have sacked the Insect, although I did want the Insect to like poke in. Yeah, this would be so much better if we had kept one of those. Like, we're in a good spot, but we're not in an incredible spot. I can't really attack with the Beetle and the Feeder, because if they block, I could Stamina that creature, and it comes back with fewer counters. Like if they block the Beetle, I guess I attack with the Beetle and the Insect, not the Feeder. It trades for a Cryptic Serpent, probably. Comes back. We can still make it a 4/4-ish. Stamina other Beetle as a double sack. Yeah, it's not terrible, except that we still need to make our Beetle... So if I attack with a Beetle and they double block it, I'm never keeping it alive, right? So the question is, what do I want to trade? So I don't mind using the Beetle as a double sack. It's just the Feeder's too small to get very effective out of that. If I attack with the Beetle and I just trade with 1 Serpent, it's probably the best way to not lose ourselves. Like, it looks like we're in an amazing spot, but like they could theoretically have like sleep, tap down guys, and kill us in 2 turns. Killing one of their guys helps with that. Oh, God. I guess we'll just attack with the Insect for now. Kind of a tough spot, I think. Can you please stop 5-0ing with this list? I play decks that have a bad matchup against it. I don't need more people playing it. Well, we'll see if we get the 5-0, but no. I like this list for a reason. Stamina the Beetle, yeah, pretty weak to Deep Inferior, and then, yeah, that too. No, I really just made a huge misplay not keeping the Link Breaker around for a Stamina. I should have sacked the Insect. Everything would be peachy then. There's a Deep Inferior. Okay. So I could Stamina this, sack it to the Feeder. It comes back. We get a counter on each of these. Is that even what I want to do, though? I have no guarantee I'm going to hit anything else, so probably. Yeah. And they're trying to do this so they can, like, get in. And this makes it harder for them to do that. Alright. Not the best use ever. Yeah, they're still attacking. Block here. Sacrifice. 9, 12. So we almost have lethal. If we get, like, a Shambling Ghast, we would just win. Although we only have 1 because we took some of those out. Playing this does mean we have 9 lethal. So they're going to have to block with the Delver. I don't need to attack with the Insect. They did not do the math. So I have lethal on them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You always got to do the math. Alright, and there's the trophy. Look at that. I apologize, Zamakure, that I got yet another trophy with this list, but it's just too good. How can you not? It's so strong. Thanks for the 40 bits, Ben. I appreciate it. Yeah, look, this deck is just too good. How could I not trophy with this, you know? I've definitely never not trophied with this list before. Yeah, so we're still trying to figure out if Marauder's the way to go. I've been liking not playing it as much, but I fear the Bogles matchup just because it's gotten some challenge wins recently. But if I had it my way, I think I would drop this entirely, play another Shambling Ghast, and we haven't really seen the Vampiric Links do work, so it's like I've played them some offline or in other leagues, and they're just decent. I'm not confident that they're so much better than Lifestaff we need to be replacing it yet. But I'm messing around with this. I'm gonna try to have an update for the Black Sack deck guide, the guide that I have, at some point pretty soon. But yeah, that was pretty sweet.